It's a quiet day in the office today. I'm eating vitamin C. And I had my lunch. We went for a walk in the morning for my first break with my husband. And we picked up those beautiful chamomile flowers for Sophie, my bunny. I had my lunch and we went to Chop Leaf. I ordered a Thai soup. I was craving I was actually craving for some chickpea soup, but they didn't have it. But the Thai soup was not far. I wish I showed you the food, but this pregnant person was hangry and just ate the food like this. And I had some of the barbecue quesadilla chicken. Dude, I think I'm having a son because in this first trimester I've loved man foods that I usually cannot stand. Like I could not stand barbecue sauce, but right now it's the most delicious thing in the world. Like, dude. And like soups to me usually is like water, but in this trimester, my first one, it's the best thing. And it's like my husband's favorite foods. And burgers. Like I can't really get tired of burgers. It's so weird. I think I'm having a son. I'm 6 weeks and 4 days right now, pregnant in my first trimester, and I just, oh my gosh, like it's been really hard, and I just really have leaned into God's grace because I work full-time still, but I had like even weekends right now, like just the morning sickness has been tough, and I've just been, Lord, just like praying for grace to all nausea to leave. But I just cannot eat anything at home. I don't like vegetables right now, and I need to eat healthy. I've loved man food, everything man food I've liked. So one of my twins must be a boy because I like pizza, fries, fried chicken, burgers, barbecue sauce. I used to hate barbecue sauce, but now I hate the opposite, pesto, which I used to like. So like none of those food are at home. I like some noodles, but I just don't want to cook it. So it's been really hard. My husband is in the men's barbecue right now, and I had to ask him to leave early because I haven't eaten. I've only eaten this tofu. This tofu one, and like I forced myself to eat that. This is my belly. 7 weeks pregnant today. I haven't eaten anything. I haven't really drank much water. I even went to the bathroom, did number 2. So this is the real size of my stomach without eating. My stomach is really slim, so at 7 weeks this is quite something. So I think it's just showing a lot more because of there's 2 babas. There are 2 babas inside this belly right now. 2 beautiful twins. So 7 weeks pregnant. How is it like? I have a cold. Today I had to work from home, but I was knocked out this morning because of like how I didn't feel so good, and my emotional levels with my hormones rising. I'm very emotional, and so I have to like found myself being very careful of who I speak with. It's so frustrating because a lot of people don't have a lot of good pregnancy experiences. This is me being emotional and real and raw, and they would try to impart the fear or the bad experience that they had with you, and they all have a good heart, and you know, you kind of have to look at it that way, but which sucks because I need people to depend on who will have faith and would speak life to me right now, and the people that I thought that I could depend on are not there. So that is like very raw for me to share, but like being pregnant allowed me to just be real and more raw than ever before. And so I have just been learning to guard what I hear, what I take in, and the advices that I hear, and just even the false testimony, even though they could be the greatest person, I just like don't receive that in Jesus' name. I just have been very grateful, especially for my husband. If I were to walk on the aisle again 2 years ago and just like have known him deep. Sorry, I'm like crying right now. Like I've known him deeply. Like now that I know him, and I know that, you know, our baby's not even born, but just like I love him so much more now that even the day I walked on the aisle, I didn't even really cry or weep that day. I loved him. I knew I loved him. I didn't know how I could love him more, but yeah, I don't know, it's this kind of love that grows, especially when you feel so vulnerable all the time, and being pregnant and your emotions is like a roller coaster. You really need unconditional love, and he's been that person who's just been dependable and been a support and have just looked after me and looked out for our babies and our best interests. So he really does feel like an extended person of me, like my half. Like embracing him feels like embracing me, which is kind of weird. But yeah, I love him so much. So that's been my 7 weeks, and I just had been having like crazy, interesting, sometimes morning sickness, but like cravings. Like I just want to barf, and even brushing my teeth has been like annoying. Husband made me some hot water, lemon, and honey to deal with my congestion because it was so bad. I had headaches, but this is heaven. Thank you, Lord. This video is not sponsored, but I have been really into chicken nuggets, like just like kids food. Like this weekend, hi bunny. This weekend I have been obsessed with like Juice Box's pizza. I came from like eating all vegetables to like hating it and like gagging from like even the thought or the look of vegetables. Taking vitamins is not my favorite, and the Lord actually taught me how to take my prenatals without gagging, because this thing just stinks. This one is expensive, and it's the whole brand, but it stinks. But it's good for you. So I hold my breath, drink water, and eat something quickly while I take it, so I don't like gag. And I got this cinnamon roll. I was screaming at Walmart yesterday because I'm like, ah! From the top of my lungs, like everyone was looking at me, but I saw a cinnamon roll. So this is my reward after this for for eating some vitamins, like, you guys. And I'm like, that's not the healthiest thing, but like I need to eat something because everything else, and then I know and praying that this won't last, so I just need to eat something that I don't throw up. Working full-time while pregnant, I am so blessed to be able to work at a place where it's just a faith environment. Like everyone just speaks life to me. Yeah, but honestly, it's been really exhausting, like having a full-time job. And yeah, I just sit at my desk, do creative things, get up here and there, but it's just like, it's exhausting, especially with twins. I love my twins, by the way. I told this like 100 times, but yeah, it's just really tiring. But I'm grateful. And morning is really hard for me because of just like, what do I eat? I have to put something in my stomach so I can take my vitamins. I have been reading this book, Supernatural Childbirth to Prepare Me, My Faith for from 8 months from now when I give birth. And also I'm actually interested in reading and watching a lot of the videos on YouTube about women who had really great testimonies of supernatural childbirth. And I'm just like wanna hear good stories, like good stories and hopeful stories of women who didn't have to struggle with child labor. I don't know what my experience will be like, but I know in faith that it will be great. For any women there that are pregnant, I'm gonna link the video below of the story of how the doctors wanted to abort my baby the first day they found out I'm pregnant. I've always been anti-abortion, and I understand that there's certain situations where, you know, that is option to save mommy's life, and I was in that position, and God really showed up for me. I don't know, I think a big part of me vlogging this whole journey of pregnancy and posting it a year later is to show that God is faithful from day one until the end. And I want to show that to people as like a thank you to the Lord, that at the time when I was really weak at that bed and I thought that the only option was for them to take my baby, and I didn't even know that I had twins at the time, that God really showed up and turned things around, and now I have a normal pregnancy and I have 2 beautiful babies that I get to give birth to. Healthy babies. And I've always dreamt of having twins, of being a mom, and God is so faithful. And if you have things that you struggle financially or support or anything, the same God that showed up to me at that hospital bed will be the same God that will show up for you in every area of your life. Like, God is so faithful. Trying thrift shopping for babies. I don't know the genders of my babies yet, but because it's so cheap that I just need some items to for faith stuff, so I can have a visual of the things I'm standing for. I would love to have a baby girl and a baby boy, so I'm looking for some clothes in the thrift store. But the good thing is, not only is the price cheap, you can get some newer stuff as well, but it's also very sustainable and accessible. And so I know I'm gonna get more clothes in the future that are brand new, but they have so much clothes here. Beautiful sunset. I'm 11 weeks and 2 days pregnant. I am still in my first trimester, so I'm 1 week away from to go to my second trimester. I see my midwife, and I'm in this beautiful beach. My husband is in Nashville. It's our very first time being away for just 4 days, and it's been really hard. Just like almost like this fight to be happy, because you like badly miss that person. And so yeah, it's, especially being pregnant, I just get really emotional about it. So like I have to like constantly distract myself, and it's helpful to have like really good friends and just family around you and support. Yeah, and so I really miss him. I went to see a midwife. I was going to a bigger midwife company in my city, and the only thing was that it was such a big company that you don't see the same people, and you don't know who you're gonna get in 16 of them when you give birth. So that's the really hard part. And so God, if you watched my vlog about me winning a contest in Seattle for the Blue Jays game, God put a doula, a Christian doula, inside that bus, and who is the manager of where this big midwife company is. So she told me like this is an amazing place, but she actually recommended a smaller place that came out of that same place, and there's 2 of them, and I went to see them. And so these midwives, you get to see throughout your pregnancy the same person and in the day of birth, so you get to know them and get to be familiar with them. So I went there, and I just loved the vibe, and I was a little nervous because I've just seen weird stereotypes in the movies. Like, I don't mind if somebody else has like a different belief as mine, but they're very professional. So I'm like, okay, I could do this. And so yeah, I decided to stick with them. I had my first appointment, and yeah, she was really awesome and peaceful and soft-spoken, and it just calmed me down. And just the whole place, the office that they have, just looks like, doesn't even look like a clinic or a hospital, which I love, because I hate going to hospitals. I hate just like feeling so stressed. But it looks like a flat. It literally has like the most mellow vibe, like couch, coffee table, and like it's dark, and there's just like lamps, and so it feels like a flat, and I love that. So yeah, and they're gonna order my next ultrasound, because my last ultrasound was at 7 weeks, around 7 weeks or so. And yeah, they only saw 1 heartbeat, even though it was confirmed that I have twins. And so but then I went to a naturopath 2 days before I went to see my midwife this week. And so the babies have matured, and my naturopath was able to find, there's one baby is just like right there knocking at my boob, and then the other one is, so she's like tucked in my pelvic bone, so it's really hard to hear her heartbeat. So I am believing and standing that I know that both my babies are alive and are living in the name of Jesus. And you know, a lot of doctors, a lot of people, they're so motivated by fear, and I refuse to that. So yeah, I'm just like standing by faith, and I know that I'm gonna have 2 babies in my arms, alive, living, and perfect and healthy and well at the end of my pregnancy. So they ordered me another ultrasound next week, and I'm believing that to see the heartbeats of my babies. And I am excited to see both of them. I'm just happy to even hear them, and I like twins have always been my dream. So this is wild for me.